Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel Alpha. Today I am talking about rock art. This video is taken from Google Wikipedia. Let's get started. In archaeology, rock arts are human-made markings placed on natural surfaces, typically vertical stone surfaces. A high proportion of surviving historic and prehistoric rock art is found in caves or partly enclosed rock shelters. This type also may be called cave art or parietal art. A global phenomenon, rock art is found in many culturally diverse regions of the world. It has been produced in many contexts throughout human history. In terms of technique, the four main groups are cave paintings, petroglyphs, which are carved or scratched into the rock surface, sculpted rock reliefs, and geoglyphs, which are formed on the ground. The oldest known rock art dates from the Upper Paleolithic period, having been found in Europe, Australia, Asia, and Africa. Anthropologists studying these artworks believe that they likely had magico-religious significance. The archaeological subdiscipline of rock art studies first developed in the late 19th century among Francophone scholars studying the rock art of the Upper Paleolithic found in the cave systems of parts of Western Europe. Rock art continues to be of importance to indigenous peoples in various parts of the world, who view them as both sacred items and significant components of their cultural heritage. One such archaeological sites may become significant sources of cult. Background. Edit. Parietal art is a term for art in caves. This definition usually extended to art in rock shelters under cliff overhangs. Popularly, it is called cave art, and is a subset of the wider term rock art. It is mostly on rock walls, but may be on ceilings and floors. A wide variety of techniques have been used in its creation. The term usually is applied only to prehistoric art, but it may be used for art of any date. 14. Sheltered parietal art has had a far better chance of surviving for very long periods, and what now survives may represent only a very small proportion of what was created. 15. The defining characteristic of rock art is that it is placed on natural rock surfaces. In this way, it is distinct from artworks placed on constructed walls or freestanding sculpture. 17. As such, rock art is a form of landscape art, and includes designs that have been placed on boulder and cliff faces, cave walls, and ceilings, and on the ground surface. 17. Rock art is a global phenomenon, being found in many different regions of the world. 1. There are various forms of rock art. Some archaeologists also consider pits and grooves in the rock known as cupules, or cups or rings, as a form of rock art. 17. Paintings. Edit. Main article. Cave painting. In most climates, only paintings in sheltered sites, in particular caves, have survived for any length of time. Therefore, these are usually called cave paintings, although many do survive in rock shelters or cliff faces under an overhang. In prehistoric times, these were often popular places for various human purposes, providing some shelter from the weather, as well as light. There may have been many more paintings in more exposed sites, that are now lost. Pictographs are paintings or drawings that have been placed onto the rock face. Petroglyphs. Edit. Main article. Petroglyph. Bids or petroglyphs in Cameroon. Petroglyphs are engravings or carvings into rock which is left in situ. They can be created with a range of scratching, engraving or carving techniques, often with the use of a hard hammerstone, which is battered against the stone surface. In certain societies, the choice of hammerstone itself has religious significance. 23. In other instances, the rock art is pecked out through indirect percussion, as a second rock is used like a chisel between the hammerstone and the panel. 23. Rock reliefs. Edit. Main article. Rock relief. Normally found in literate cultures, a rock relief or rock-cut relief is a relief sculpture carved on solid or living rock, such as a cliff, rather than a detached piece of stone. They are a category of rock art, and sometimes found in conjunction with rock-cut architecture. 25. However, they tend to be omitted in most works on rock art, which concentrate on engravings and paintings by prehistoric peoples. A few such works exploit the natural contours of the rock and use them to define an image, but they do not amount to man-made reliefs. Earth figures. Edit. Further information. Geoglyphs. See also. Land art. Earth figures are large designs and motifs that are created on the stone ground surface. They can be classified through their method of manufacture. 28. Intaglios are created by scraping away the desert pavements, pebbles covering the ground, to reveal a negative image on the bedrock below. The best known example of such intaglio rock art is the Nazca Lines of Peru. 28. Motifs and panels. Edit. Traditionally, individual markings are called motifs and groups of motifs are known as panels. Sequences of panels are treated as archaeological sites. This method of classifying rock art, however, has become less popular as the structure imposed is unlikely to have had any relevance to the art's creators. Even the word, art, carries with it many modern prejudices about the purpose of the features. Citation needed. Regional variations. Edit. Europe. Edit. Main article. Rock art of Europe. In the Upper Paleolithic of Europe, rock art was produced inside cave systems by the hunter-gatherer peoples who inhabited the continent. The oldest known example is the Chauvet Cave in France, although others have been located, including Lascaux in France, Altamira in Spain and Creswell Crags in Britain and Grotta del Genovese in Sicily. North Africa. Edit. South Oran in Algeria. Saharan rock art. Tadrart Akakis in Libya, World Heritage Site. Tassili N'Ajjer in Algeria, National Park and World Heritage Site, known for its 10,000-year-old paintings. Cave of Swimmers is a cave in southwest Egypt, near the border with Libya, along the western edge of the Gilf Kebir Plateau in the central Libyan desert, eastern Sahara. It was discovered in October 1933 by the Hungarian explorer Laszlo Almasi. The site contains rock paintings of human figures who appear to be swimming, which have been estimated to have been created at least 6,000 to 7,000 years ago. The Cave of Beasts 10 kilometers westwards was discovered in 2002. Western Africa. Edit. Boucle du Baoulé National Park. Dabas giraffes.